Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am up with the Oso inspired YouTube collaboration team that is hosted by Call Me Crafty Owl. You can check that out in the comments below. You can also see what our inspiration piece was this month in the comments below. It is a card with some wood grain background and some daisies on the front. Now, I am going to be inspired by this loosely. So what I've done is pulled out this lovely blue wood grain and this floral paper, and I'm going to be scrapbooking this photo of the family down in downtown San Francisco. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I start out by inking the edges of my papers, and I'm using that brushed corduroy distress ink. It's a really nice brown, and I find that it's the one I go to the most. I don't have a lot of browns. I think I have two distress inks, one's lighter and one's darker, and this is the one I enjoy the most. Now I'm just going to layer my papers on this, I believe it's a Basil cardstock. Oops, my ATG got a little funky there, so I had to get it back in shape. Now I'm just layering this little bit of floral over top of the wood grain, and I trimmed off that floral so the wood grain goes all the way around it. I didn't like the green on the green with that floral green on top of the solid green, so I felt like that little bit of blue around the edge broke it up enough to my eye. So I wanted to use this cork for two reasons. One, I'm trying to use up a bunch of cork because during the Rediscover Your Stash challenge, when I was pulling my kit, I discovered that I had super amounts of cork. And also these little gemstones on this particular cork border reminded me of the inspiration piece with the little, I think they're probably like clear Nuvo drops or something on the side of the card. At least that's what they look like to me. I'm not exactly sure what it is. And I'm just trying to decide if I like the cork better over top the flowers or over top of the wood grain. And I decided I like it over top of the flowers better. And that little yellow strip is from Basic Gray. And I'm really happy with this. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, this is turning out. Although it really looks nothing like the inspiration piece, I hope that you'll be able to look at the inspiration piece and then see my layout and see kind of where I came from. I decided to not use that music note paper. I really liked the color of it, however, I ended up with this music note paper. And this music note paper has kind of that teal minty aqua color. I'm not sure which color it is. I feel like a lot of the times the teals and the mints and the aquas, they all kind of blend together. So sometimes I'm just not sure which one, it goes to. So I'm sitting here and I get that small border around and I decide not to ink the edges of that particular paper because I want it to be a little bit crisp against that Cartabella paper with the dot on it. Like, I wanted to, give it a little bit of a pop. Not through color, but just because the inking around the edges kind of like mutes the papers a little bit, and when you have all of your edges inked except for one, it gives it that high contrast pop that I was looking for. At least it does to my eye. You might look at it and not even realize it or not even know it, but I know that detail's there, so when I'm flipping through my albums, it makes sense for me. So I want a little bit of a vertical element behind the photo besides the photo. And at first I was going to use that gray polka dot paper there that has kind of been floating around my stash for a while, because there is like a gray-y kind of floral in that green paper with the little daisies on it. Maybe they're not really daisies, but they remind me of daisies. However, that dark gray was a little bit too much, so I went with this kind of lighter gray, blue. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but it's like a gray, blue, depending upon which papers I have this cardstock with. Sometimes it looks more blue, sometimes it looks more gray. So there you go. So I pulled off this little backpack sticker out of the Chamel Go Now Go sticker book, and I pulled it mostly for the color. It kind of brings up that yellow and orange on the floral, and it works. We didn't go backpacking or anything, but we were traveling through San Francisco, and we were, exploring the area, so it fit. Then I pulled off this little banner sticker from Freckled Fawn that says Family Time. And I was going to put this little car up there, but then I was like, it's not really a car. It's kind of, but it's not a real car, so I decided not to do that. Now I went ahead and got out those golden copper Go Now Go stickers from Chamel, and I just used it up there just literally as the color up at the top there, because I knew I was going to pull in the color with a geotag by the title, which is going to go on the right hand side of the photo, and I needed a little something on the left, so I'm just going to go with this leaf. And it's not even a fall photo. Like, this is August of last year, so it was still summertime. It was a cooler day down in San Francisco. Everybody is wearing jeans, but it's not really fall. So I'm going to use this cork frame, and this little frame gives me a bit of trouble. It breaks a couple times. However, I just smush it back together and stick it down on the page. And that's the beautiful thing about this cork, is that when it's ripped, because it has sort of that texture where it kind of looks like it's not all together and smooth, like a nice piece of paper, you don't really notice it. And see, there's the first time it breaks. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I just realized that that's not exactly where I wanted it. So I just move it a little bit over, and there it breaks again. And I push it together. And I'm just getting it tightly together so you really can't tell that it's like ripped up and broken. And then I ripped that piece on purpose because it's too long to fit underneath of my photo. And while I'm pulling that piece off my finger, that little teeny piece broke in half as well. So I'm still unsure exactly where I'm going to put this leaf, so I'm not pushing it down into the page. I'm just kind of leaving it over there to set. And then I'm pulling out more cork because I'm going to use it for my title. And I'm going to use that little banner that says with, and I'm going to take the thicker out of that Amy Tangerine thicker sheet, and the phrase is wild about you, but I'm just pulling out the U because I figure I can make another page wild about something. It doesn't have to be you. It can be wild about scrapbooking, or wild about trees, or wild about computers, or wild about anything. Whatever it is, I'm going to make a page where somebody's wild about something. Okay. So on this piece of cork, this banner cork, what I did was popped it up with some craft foam, because I wanted it to layer over the letters just a little bit. So I get that down there, and I'm happy with it. And then I had tried a bunch of letter stickers up here for the word time. However, I wasn't happy with them, and then I did pull out these Jelly Bean Soup letter stickers, and I'm pleased with them. The blue is a good match for the wood grain, but don't worry, I didn't make you guys watch me choose letter stickers and try out writing time a couple times. So, oops, got to get that little I. I find that a lot of the times I don't even bother with the dot over the I. But this time, for some reason, I definitely wanted it on there. And while I have that sticker sheet out, I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else I can use. And I like these little red hearts, and there's 3 of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and add them to the page. And I add a second heart to that banner over there that says Family Time. I figure it's family, it's more than one heart, lots of hearts in a family, so that works. It works in my head. Do you guys do that? Sometimes you have ideas in your head, and while you're scrapbooking, you're justifying what you're doing because it makes sense to you. So that's what I do most of the time that I'm scrapbooking. So I'm trying to layer this KI Memories chipboard piece. And no matter where I put it, I'm just not liking it. I'm not feeling it. It looks kind of weird. Like it's just not flowing very well with the layout. So we need to push that to the side and figure out something else to use. Now I do try to use this Love This sticker, and I thought, oh, I'll just bring the copper color up there. However, it's really too dark for the other colors that I have down here. But what I do find is the sticker that says today, and it has a bridge on it. And even though it's not the Golden Gate Bridge, it's a bridge, and it's close enough, and it works for me with what I've got going on here. And I think that I'm going to put this little heart over here because I've got steps now on this above the photo. I've got steps leading up from the newsprint tab to the cardstock to the sticker, so I figured that the heart will break that up. However, the heart's not breaking it up enough for me, so I grabbed this little teal aqua minty cloud, and I'm going to make that break up the steps. And it kind of like juts out a little bit, and I want that little heart to nestle in there. And I'm going to play with it just for a minute, and finally I get it where I'm happy. And that's fine with me. It breaks up the steps. So down here, I've cut a little piece of a sticker off one of the Echo Park sticker sheets, and the sticker does say the story, but I don't want the story because I'm not journaling on this layout. The journaling is going on the other layouts that are in the same album the same day. So I just ink the edges a little bit because it is a very stark white sticker. And down there underneath of that backpack sticker, what I did was double foam squared the backpack so it wasn't just kind of like flapping in the wind. Now this is exciting. These brads I've had in my stash. They are from 2006 from Around the Block, and I pulled them for my first round of the Rediscover Your Stash Challenge back in May, I believe it was, and I used all of them but a couple. And then after the challenge was over, I still used a couple, and I have 3 left. So I used 2 on this page, so that was super exciting. I have 1 more, so I'm definitely going to get that one finished, but it just doesn't go with this page. Now, instead of poking the brads through the page, I just ripped off the brad tines, and I'm pop dotting the back of the metal brad and just sticking it down on the page. And I like how that just curves around the letter O and U, so I'm happy with that. Now, guys, do you remember that this is a collaboration with a bunch of other great crafty ladies here on YouTube? So make sure that you check out that description box below and you go check out and see what everyone else has done. And if you've hopped over from someone else's channel to check out what I've done, thanks for coming over and watching. Hope you would enjoy. Now I've pulled out these little rhinestones that I had picked off the cork border up there because it was just too much bulk under the photo, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue those down. But don't worry, I'm going to skip ahead and not make you watch me glue those down because it is tedious. Now I pull out some words from my Citrus Twist kit from August, and they are bright white, so I do need to ink the edges a little bit, and I just throw in a couple little words. One's there, it says adventuring, and then I'm going to add best, and that's going to join in on the title where it says best time with you. And I believe that's all I do on this page. I don't think I add anything else. Oh, nope, I lied. I do try to add a little bit of these fancy pants, kind of like puffy things that are almost like enamel dots, but they really aren't. However, that doesn't work. So what I do grab are some Freckled Fawn enamel hearts, And those are going to go around the page, and they're in a dark blue. See, first I tried those gray ones, but that didn't really go. And then I tried to pull out these little wood grain ones, but I was like, no, it really doesn't work. So I do find the Freckled Fawn navy enamel hearts, and I'm happy with that. And I just sprinkle those around the page. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the watch time. Like I said, remember to check out the description box below and hop around and check out what all the other ladies on the Oso Inspired Collaborative team have put together for you. And I'll catch you guys next month for another video. See you later.